Hello everyone and welcome back to the Night Sky Arena. We have an absolute banger today, Deviate Wukong versus Shadow of 9. Two huge names that have been pretty dominant so far in the Night Sky Arena. Deviate Wukong obviously won the Night Sky Invitational, looked shaky during group stage, but have come back and blazed their way through the upper bracket in this playoff stage. And Shadow of 9, on the other hand, looked absolutely incredible for a little bit during the group stage and then fell down at the hands of Zero G Comet, bounced back, came into playoffs as the second seed and haven't looked back since. You know, they had some growing pains since they dropped their IGL, right? And then had to get accustomed to their new style, new calling, all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So now they look way, way better. And DV Wukong also looks good, and you can see where I'm going with this. It's going to be a banger because both of these teams are in absolute prime form. So, Deviate Wukong running the same comp that they did the last time that we saw them on Lotus, which was against Zero G Nebula in the first round. You guys alt F4 now, by the way. Poke and Dark. Alt F4, and then come back as soon as you can. Last time that we saw Deviate Wukong on this map was against Zero G Nebula, where they actually did knock Zero G Nebula down to the lower bracket, where Nebula then proceeded to disband, which obviously was super tragic, but it just goes to show how extremely good Wukong are at exploiting weaknesses, even against teams that are supposed to be absolute, like, powerhouses, you know, like Nebula. So, I like this comp a lot. They're running the M80 comp. What's the other team that runs it? XLG, M80, XLG, you know. They have a lot of good stuff. They have some good strats. Azumi opping on the Sage looks really good. On the other side, Shadow of 9 have a completely different comp that is a huge tell of their completely different style. They're super aggressive, super fast, super pacey, you know. They like to take the site, they like to hit the site, they like to explode. Proof and Viper, this duelist duo. I'm sure you're gonna have us like a great showing. Already we can see a 3-man walkout on B. Other side of the map, Wukong, an A hit coming out. Viper, first pick onto Graves, clean shot, runs back, regroups. Azumi checking the flank, but realizes still there's a trip there, doesn't have to look too closely. Now walking their way, contacting onto the A site. Fade gonna take an engagement here against Argini. Calls for reinforcements. Viper walled off. Wall being broken now.
Spike down A.
Takes Cup Gold out. Argini shot onto Izumi, but Ryukigai trade comes through. Tyler Staria in a 1v4 and will not be able to come through. Pretty dominant first round from Shadow of 9. Super proactive, super aggressive shots are landing. It is a little bit worrying that Wukong were able to walk their way onto the A site without using any utility and then still lost the round. It just felt like Cup Gold didn't really clear any of his corners. He didn't spot Argini and allowed Argini to actually be able to get that paranoia off before he could actually regroup with his team and retake and such. But still, great round from Shadow of 9. Did a lot of good stuff. Now coming into this eco, they should be pretty concerned about orbs. You know, Azuro already building towards his as well as Onodaya. 4-man contact for Wukong. Going to be spotted out by Azuro, forced to fall off into ceiling. Smokes go down. Wall separates Cup Gold off, alone on site for now, but Shadow of 9 taking their time. Door opening. Wukong feeling the heat. Azumi, though, has time to get this spike down.
Planted.
Prowler comes out for Azuro, doesn't spot anything, but Argini does take the first pick onto Ryukigai. Azumi scanned out. Tyler Staria doing his best, finds a pick. Cup Gold as well, but Argini sticking this defuse here, and it looks like Wukong just are not going to have an answer. Tyler Staria finds Viper as well, but Azuro puts him in the grave. 2-0, Shadow of 9. Not a terribly clean round, but still managed to come through. Wukong looked better on their eco than they did on their pistol. A little bit concerning, but you know, if they're able to do good stuff like that on their eco, it should be able to carry through into their buy rounds. At least you'd hope. Such, but still, and massive shots are landing. Dominant first round from Shadow of 9. Super pro. Slow advance from Wukong, contacting around the corners. Shadow of 9, no proactivity to be seen this round. Just want to rest and reset. Possibly gear up for a fast flood. Orb now going to be taken. Noted by Onodaya, still playing on site, just a sheriff. Util used, but the stall utility is good. However, second wave coming through now. Onodaya still isolated on site. Wants to get one so desperately. Azuro as well makes his way onto the site. It's going to be a 5v5 retake now. Cupgold does not get the spike down. Instead, deadly combo. Ryukigai evens the scoreboard just a little bit, but still dangerous. Stun goes out on site. Azumi finds our genie. Ryukigai as well catches Viper out. Versus 2 now.
30
Full
seconds
rifles
left.
for the side of Wukong, but Azuro takes Ryukigai's head off, finds a third as well. Last one left alive, it's just Azumi, and Shadow of 9 take the bonus. Very, very well coordinated retake. Onodaya not showing any presence on site until the very last second, where he actually was able to enable his team to get the retake. The vines were super good as well. That extra little bit of delay in C main let his team regroup for the fast flood, and then it was a pretty deadly combo out from Viper. The neon stun and the nade managed to take Cupgold down.
They will break against me.
Yet again, contacting out of B main, going to be met with a little bit of resistance, but is Azumi prepared? No. Stun goes out, Graves forced off. Sees nade combo, doesn't find anything, but Proof still around the corner. Azumi fighting alone, finds Proof. Eye goes out, spots 2. Viper feels the need to pop the ult, finds Graves, finds a second as well. Argini, Ryukigai in the grave. Azumi tries to even the playing field, but Onodaya jumping around corners with Odin. Cupgold cannot find squat. Azuro takes the round 4-0, and Wukong now back on a bye, going to have to show something better. This is not the same Wukong that we saw 2 weeks ago against Apex Starlight. We just have no answers for Shadow of 9 right now. And the economy is absolutely flourishing. Onodaya using Cupgold's tricks against him. Ryukigai close to this Deadlock ultimate. Azumi as well with the res. On the other side, no ultimates for Shadow of 9 at this moment, but Azuro is one off. Onodaya, Cycle's going to come through for him soon as well. Cupgold contacting around this corner. Viper barely manages to take it back. Azuro, eye goes out. Going to be broken. Information denial still. Graves and Tyler Staria walking up on B. Leaves Graves inserted. Tyler now goes back, wants to get information on C. Cupgold. Orb will be taken. I'm sure that will be noted by the A players. 2 now make themselves known on the A site, but looks like Wukong gearing towards B. Breakable now going down, not before Azuro catches Ryukigai out straight through the wall. Looking increasingly likely that they might need to take advantage of this insert from Graves. Fatal about to be used by Azuro, Argini as well. Paranoia goes out, but Graves saves the day. Onodaya with the Odin, but Tyler Staria not going to let him get any value. Deadlock ultimate used. Proof on site, caught out by Azumi. Viper in heaven. Bubot goes out. 1 versus 3. Finds the first with need to go big here. Ryukigai around the corner. Viper isolates the second, isolates the third. 1 versus 1 now. Cupgold, you're gonna have to save the day once again, and it's Viper with the 4K. Absolutely incredible. Playing like he is Jesus Christ walking on water. He should not be able to do that. That's incredible. Oh my god. One closer to the race rocket as well. And DV8 Wukong are gonna be mad about that one, using 3 ultimates into it and not managing to find the rounds. Oh my god, it's incredible. Viper 10-3, the superstar showing up today. Holy. And Wukong yet again back on a low buy. Economy yet to be contained on the side of Shadow of 9. Snowball just bounding and delighting. What happened, you guys? Is it a tech pause or is it a timeout or what? Hold on, I need to unmute you guys so I can hear what's going on. Okay, what happened? Why are we paused?
Tech.
Huh?
Tech.
Okay. Dark, could you go in there, both the VCs, and ask what's going on and then, like, remind them they can't talk strategy?
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh no, I can't. It doesn't let me.
I'll give you perms. Hold on. Okay. See if you can now. Pretty dominant from Shadow of 9. Viper still going big. Azuro only died once. Only person negative right now for Shadow of 9 is Proof, and he's still finding a ton of value, making space and finding impact with his stun.
I'm back.
Did you find out what's going on?
Apparently one of their microphones turned off for some reason, and they were just trying to reconnect it.
Okay. Is someone keeping track of what time they started?
I am not sorry. I think it's been about a minute.
Okay. They have 15 minutes of tech time, I think.
Okay.
I'd like to see more conditioning from Deviate Wukong. I liked what they did inserting Graves in the B space and then trying to go for a B split, but I do think that the B split was a little bit delayed. I think that as soon as they got that orb on Cup Gold, they should have immediately pivoted into the B split. They even had the late wrap from Tyler Staria onto the C site, but he wasn't able to find any value until way too far into the round. I'll meet you guys again.
I'm gonna pause it.
Now, starting up again. It's a deadly combo. Viper does miss his nade. First time he's whiffed all game.
Bomb buddy out.
Wukong hoping to get some early B space, yielding this A space to Shadow of 9. Proof walks out behind the Cypher cage. Does get the information in terms of the noise, but has no vision for now. If Cup Gold wants to use this Ares, put it to good use, could manage to spam Proof out, but no, instead the bait is incredible, but he only manages to find one. That's a screw up. Ryuki guy finds the trade. Azuro does find the pick on Graves. Onodaya, good shot onto Ryuki guy, stalls out the C hit even more. Azuro walking out of B main. Now Wukong going to have to regroup, consider their options. Azuro still holding this flank. Wukong going to have to be more aware than this. Sprinting through spawn. Azuro on the angle finds one. Azumi low HP but still alive. Heal coming through. 30 seconds. Shadow of 9 baited to rotate off of C. At what point do they consider that Azumi has outsmarted them just a little bit, unless Azumi just wants to sit and spawn? No, he does actually drift towards A. Shadow of 9, instead of being tricked, have read this pitch perfect. 65 HP, Onodaya wants to be the first up to bat. Azumi looking the wrong direction. Caught out by Onodaya. 6-0. Shadow of 9 continue their streak of dominance. Wukong are a type of team that should not be able to get, like, wrecked like this. It's crazy. Shadow of 9 are showing us something incredible today. Coming out with a completely new look. I thought that Wukong were impressive. Shadow of 9 even more so. Another fight, but this time Wukong don't even attempt to fend off the A space take. Instead, it's a 5-man walk up on C. Orb going to be taken. Zero alerted to the commotion, rotates back over to C. might be too late unless Wukong stall out even more. Ryuki guy on the Sage Wall hands the free pick to Onodaya. Sage Res does go out. Silver lining, Graves whiffs onto Onodaya, finds another. But Ryuki guy and Azumi with the answer. Cup Gold, top of the spike, wants to bait out this trap from Viper, but unbeknownst to him, Viper's still all the way in water. However, does have a raise rocket, finds nothing. Counter ult from Cup Gold goes out. Space slowly being taken, but Azumi fends off the retake from Azuro. 4 versus 2 now. Wukong look like they might just get the first round in order, unless Argini has something to say about it. But no, Wukong still managed to contact their way into their first round. Exploiting this somewhat weak C site from Shadow of 9. Azumi with a little bit of a screw up, just handing Ryuki guy to Shadow of 9 on a platter, but has the revive to put a band-aid on the rip. Economy from Shadow of 9 still yet to be broken, however, does show signs of shakiness. Proof here doesn't have enough to buy full shield, but that's hardly an issue when you're up 5 rounds. 5-man contact yet again. Viper inserted in the corner. Crossfire with Argini, and this time Wukong wanting to take this easier than before. Smoke goes out. Viper finds Azumi on the side hit, put down to 1 HP. Cup Gold seized up, doesn't even matter, finds Argini. But Azuro almost finds 2. Ryuki guy just too fast. Viper does get the trade. Last one with the live, Tyler Staria. Wukong's round has gone amidst very, very quickly. Tyler has done great things before. 2 kills, not outside of his scope of range, but would have to still be incredible. Onodaya spotted out. Tyler quick to react. Ultimate goes down. Proof wants to push the tempo, considers it for just a moment, but decides to play it slow. Caught out by this ultimate. Tyler contacting around this corner. Spike retrieved, and Tyler Staria catches Proof with his back turned. Another hero round to find Wukong their second. Six to 2, Shadow of 9 now shows signs of shaky economy yet again. Proof here can't buy up. No one has money to buy him. Wukong, all it took was 2 rounds to start to put cracks in Shadow of 9's economy, but last round was definitely just a tiny inch away from going Shadow of 9's way. Will have to be better than that. This time, a fight on the C site. Azuro, Proof, Viper want to take this space, and they want to take it fast, leaving Wukong with pretty much no options. Another repeat A hit. Dog goes out, as well as the vines from Onodaya. Wants to stall, play his life on site. Breakable will be broken. It's a fast pivot from Wukong, but Azuro might have something to say about it. Nade goes out. Ryuki guy trade onto Azuro. Cup Gold inserted on site. Sage slow as well. Puts Argini in a terrible position. Deadlock ultimate finds nothing but space. A little bit of information as well. Argini's still in heaven, but Deadlock wall goes down. Immediately broken, but Azumi wants to capitalize, and capitalize he does. Argini, no response. Ryuki guy, information found. Proof as well. Stalled out by the wall, but still going to have to be dealt with sooner or later. Cup Gold finds the first on the Viper, but Ryuki guy on the trade. Onodaya, ultimate used. Gunning for this round. Not over yet. Tap of the spike. Azumi inching around. Has the information now. Back around the corner. Baiting him out. Jiggling. Shots fired. Onodaya around the corner. Does not find squat. Ryuki guy with the 3K. Bringing Wukong their 3rd round. It's another contact for Wukong, but this time Graves starting it out right, finds Viper. Proof goes unchecked, but Cup Gold puts the ball in Wukong's court. Proof acts on his instinct. Caught out by the trip.
Last player
Azumi goes to
standing.
deal with him. Tyler Staria on the bench. Azuro, last one left alive.
Spike
Quick like
planted.
lightning. Wukong pushing the pace. Seize goes out as well. And Azumi, a 4th round for Wukong, starting to build momentum, which is a dangerous thing for Shadow of 9 if they do not halt Wukong's disastrous, dastardly advance at some point. Wukong are going to start to show why they won the Invitational. Timeout now for the side of Shadow of 9. Hitting that big red button. Want to discuss how Wukong managed to even put it to this point. Okay, I need you guys to do something. Whenever you guys, like Poke, whenever you follow Dark's perspective, whenever you're ready to go back to your own perspective, Poke, I need you to switch off Poke, and then I need Dark to follow Poke. Because it doesn't automatically switch back to Poke for me. It leaves me on Dark's POV, even whenever Poke is there. So like, Poke, you follow Dark, and then Poke, you stop following Dark, and Dark, you follow Poke, etc. And I think that'll automatically do it for me. If that makes sense. Weak guy. 3 away from another deadlock ult. 10 and 10. Kid's been really good. Viper slowing down a little bit. Only found 2 kills since his 3 or 1v4 clutch round. But Shadow of 9 coming out of this timeout rejuvenated. Economy still looks to be in pieces, barely mustering out a full buy. On the other side, Wukong have all the confidence in the world. 4 rounds in a row. Eye goes out, does not catch squat. Azuro instantly rotates off, unbeknownst to him. Cup Gold calls his team back. The walk up. This time, Vines will not be able to stall for long. Eye goes out. Unadaya forced off-site for the first time in forever. Cup Gold. Fatal ultimate goes off. Gunning for this round. Information found. Nobody in halls. Argini going to arrive a little bit late. Spike now ticking away.
There.
Pressure entirely on Shadow of 9. Ultimate's used though. Azuro. Fatal goes out. Viper. A botched ultimate still manages to find 2. Nade goes out as well. Graves in a bad position. Holding this angle. Swings out. Finds 1. Immediately tucks back. Smoke goes down top of the spike. Onodaya dispatches Graves, but Tyler Staria is not going to be caught. Spam goes out, and he's spinning. Argini onside cannot stand up, but Viper, another 3K in Shadow of 9. Halt Wukong's advance. A 7th round to be found as Wukong have no response.
Last round in the half.
Anyone need something? Can I get a drop?
This time, Shadow of 9 have no worries at all about their own economy. Full buy for both of these teams on the last round of the half. 2 away, Ryukigai on that deadlock ultimate. Azumi has that revive. All the big ults have already been used. This round gonna come down to pure gunfights. The deadly fight out on a main. Going to be won out by Shadow of 9. Wukong just have no utility, no way to actually take that space back. Tyler Staria finds Azuro. Finds the second as well. Onodaya 1 HP falls. C-site wide open. Triple rotate out from Shadow of 9 will be understood from Wukong. Well-timed ultimate from Cypher here. Sage Wall goes out as well as the slow. Proof wants to go straight through, decides not to. Smart idea from him. Ryukigai plant goes down. Deadlock ultimate now going to be found. Spam out for the side of Shadow of 9, but have no idea. Tyler Staria on the flank. Finds 1. Graves as well. Proof. Last one left alive. Finds the first. Found out by the Prowler. Whiffs on Graves. 5 rounds for Wukong. The comeback of a century, but still, they are down by 2 and will have to do way better on their defense side. Now, I've spoken about this before. I believe that Wukong's comp is super attack-sided, but it's still great for defense. That insane amount of stall. You know, they have the Cypher trips for information. They have the deadlock and Sage Walls. They have so much stall utility. It should be easy peasy if they manage to stall one part of the map out and possibly fight for the other. Just like you would play it with a Harbor on Breeze. Do the same thing with this composition on Lotus. Fight one side, stall the other, then retake together. And Shadow of 9 on the other. Abias, remember to pause the timer, guys. Oh my god, bro. Is it paused right now? Okay, hold on. I need to unmute you guys.
I have perms for it.
What's the situation?
I didn't know. I thought he had perms.
I thought I gave him
don't know.
perms. So wait, what is it? Is it paused right now or what?
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It's paused right now.
Yeah, they can't go past the barrier, I think.
Okay, so
I didn't know he didn't.
oh my god, dude.
As soon as I swap to poke, I
low-key,
try to check perms.
They did not pause it in time, but they will unpause it whenever the timer is over, and then just hope that the barrier goes down at that point, that it didn't like break anything. Tell me what they say in chat.
He
Well,
said
I
they're
think-
can we reset the round instead?
We can't because there's not cheats. Oh, we can.
Yeah, you have the
Yeah.
card.
Alright. We're gonna restart the round. There we go. Wait, so Dark, you don't have perms?
Nope, no perms at all. Only
Alright, I'll-
viewing perms.
I will do it then.
Wall set.
He didn't give me any.
I did.
Okay.
And I know I pressed the button because I double checked. Alright, is the round paused?
Yeah.
Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna meet you guys again then. Sorry about that mishap, everyone. Halftime now. Shadow of 9 speaking about how proactive they need to be against this Wukong comp. Don't want to let any of these barrier utilities, Deadlock Wall, Sage Wall, etc. actually find value. Want to break them early, depending on when Wukong breaks them, or when Wukong throws them, sorry. And do you have a pretty high fragging player on the Viper, or on the Raze? It's Viper on the Raze, there we go. 15-8, gonna be instrumental if they actually want to lead their attack half. And Proof might have to get activated a little more as well. Azuro and Viper have been doing incredible, so is Onadaya, but Proof and Argini missing just a little bit, MIA. Not to be rude at all, but these are players that can't afford to be going 5 and 10 in an official. I'm sure that it was just a symptom of the half, though. I'm sure that Proof will do much better on attack, as we have seen him do in the past. Monstrous when he gets going. Onadaya, perfect lurker, though. Mechanics player, if I've ever seen one, 12-7. Going to be a dangerous tool. Leave him inserted, go back later, etc., etc. I'm not sure if we can show this on broadcast. No, I'm messing around. Now, starting up immediately, Tyler Storia on the cam. Spots Onadaya out, immediately re-clears. Onadaya still drifting around C main. It's a 3-man contact up into B main for the side of Shadows of 9. Graves taking contact, immediately falls to Proof. Early first kill. Exactly what I wanted to see. And this time, cut noise, rotate back, C space being taken. Onadaya walked all the way up in the mound. And there's no re-clear coming through for Wukong. Instead, just playing it haphazardly, walking off the B side. Door opened, makes 2 stick around on site, but Argini capitalizes on the mess they've created. Azumi goes down. Tyler Storia on site, just running and gunning, finds 2, but it's not enough unless Cuphold has something to say. He finds 1, falls off, eye goes down. 2v2, all of a sudden things just got interesting. Argini put down on 1 HP.
Spike
Spam
planted.
misses for Cup Gold, but still information about to be garnered. Has one dog left. Ryukigai as well. Big names. Viper and Nade might be able to create a distraction just for a momentary, brief amount of time.
No escape.
Net
One
goes down,
enemy
catches
remaining.
one Cup Gold, puts Viper in the dirt. Ardini, last one left alive. Ryukigai around the corner, and it is Wukong with the pistol, somehow, some way bringing it back. Defusal will come through as well. Ryukigai one closer to this ultimate. I should have probably gone towards Cup Gold, but either way, Ryukigai does have a cheaper orb, or a cheaper ultimate, sorry. And Shadow of 9 must be infuriating to do everything right in terms of the conditioning and the actual understanding of what space is important in context of the larger game plan. You know, getting an insert and early pressure onto C, cutting noise, walking down B, finding that early pick, faking the sight hit, and then rotating back to C, all to be foiled by just a well-timed jump out with the classic from Tyler Staria. Graves on the angle this time, playing it much more passive. Viper makes it out alive, but the Odin will be found. Raise nade goes down. Tyler Staria playing into the smoke, finds the first Cup Gold straight out with the Ares, finds a quick double. Door now going to be opened. Azumi on the Stinger, and Azura forced all the way back. Paranoia, Dog, Prowler, everything being thrown at Azuro just to put him in the grave by Graves. Yeah, that was pretty fire, wasn't it? 7-7, Wukong evening the score out. Still more work to do, however. This time will be a full buy on the side of Shadow of 9. Half shield here, regen for the other, but still 3 full shields and all 5 rifles. Wukong still have a pretty dangerous buy, especially if they play to their advantages. Early space being taken, no utility even needed to be used, but the eye still does go out,
There.
clears a little bit of extra space. The two-man walk up, Cup Gold and Azumi instantly taking all of this B space for Ryukigai. Alone on site, barrier goes out, forces them into stairs, and stairs they will be forced into, and Onodaya around the angle. Tyler Staria, however, just too aware. Cup Gold still unable to get the trade. Or sorry, Azuro unable to get the trade, but still on the same bit of space. Ryukigai obliterates Proof before Viper gets the trade. Graves forced to teleport back up. This plant will go down for Argini, 1 HP.
Spike planted.
Eye finds nothing. Cup Gold.
One
Spam
enemy
damage.
remaining.
Tyler Staria puts one in the grave, but Azuro has been dangerous. Cup Gold, however, anticlimactic if I've ever seen it. Defense-sided composition. Perhaps I was wrong. 7-8. Wukong have crawled their way back somehow, some way. I'm just in disbelief that Shadow of 9 looked that good, and for a minute I was beginning to think maybe Wukong are overrated. Maybe, just maybe, there is actually a tier gap between these two teams. Maybe Shadow of 9 getting 6 rounds in a row is too much for Wukong to even have a chance back into the map. But despite all the preds, despite everything I've ever considered about this map right now, Wukong have found a way back in, and even managed to get up around Azumi now, back on that Sage op that we've come to know him for. Oh my god. Tyler Staria getting activated as well. Azumi on the angle. Whiffs on the first, baited out by Proof. Nade just to double check. Orb taken for Viper. Working towards that Ray's ultimate. Azumi still on the angle. Other side though, Azura walking up on this A space. Cup Gold seems to have the read, might just be able to catch Azuro out. He does call his team back. Cup Gold drifting around, doesn't really know what's going on, what he wants to do, but decides to just make a decision and stick to it. Onodaya seems to have found a gap. Graves just jiggling in heaven. Passive information, especially with the Cypher trip. Barrier goes out. Not going to be broken. Instead, Proof uses a meaningless wall. Actually, no, not meaningless. Goes for the split. Tyler Staria finds the first on the Viper. Argini gets the trade. Azuro pushing the pace alongside Proof, but Cup Gold ultimate use. Goes out, sees Deadlock net in exchange. Post plant being set up. Azumi swap over to the rifle. Guy finds the first in Wukong. Absolutely no stress whatsoever. Bad situation, but handled very well by the side of Wukong, and Azumi still manages to keep that operator. However, Cupgold did have to use an early fatal against the eco just to find this anti-eco, but it was well worth it. Not lose the round like that. This time, Shadow of 9 on the full buy. Proof beginning to get activated, 7 to 14, but definitely looking a lot better compared to his defensive half. Baiting out these op shots very well. Actually thought it was pretty cool the way that he jiggled and managed to bait Azumi out, and then Viper instantly followed up with the raise nade. Early eye goes out. Space taken, as well as the Prowler, just to guarantee this is clear. Tyler Soria, however, still keeps control with this camera. Zero jiggling, jumps out through the one-way, proof as well. Playmaker. Tyler Soria, cage goes out. Nothing compared to this Fade ultimate. Graves willing to play to stall, but call comes through. Play for the retake instead. Waterfall to Graves. Spam damage finds Viper. Spike still goes down, however, does nothing to stop that. Prowler goes out. Broken proof goes unchecked. Another from Cupgold. Onodaya around the angle, catches Graves in water. Damage done, but Tyler fails to get the trade. Proof wants to slide out just a moment, but decides against it. Eye goes out as well, catches nothing. Azumi on the retake with the op. Barrier goes out, wants to get the angle, whiffs onto Argini doing work. Ryukigai finds one, but Onodaya finds three. What you do, he can do better. 4K for the GOAT. 8 to 9. Shadow of 9 are not out yet. Now, economy for both of these teams going to be extremely shaky. Both sides do still manage to muster up a buy. Cupgold decides to trade the operator out for an Odin signature weapon. Somehow a full buy for Wukong. One round, absolutely nothing for Shadow of 9 here. In the face of the 4 rounds that Wukong managed to earn before that. To 5-man contact into rubble, which Shadow of 9 know that Wukong have absolutely nothing to stop this. Odin immediately found out, nade and the stun. Cupgold manages to stay alive. Nothing now to do damage. Odin spam damage, finds Onodaya. Boombot goes out and Proof puts him in the dirt, but not before his teammate already goes down. Ryukigai catches Proof. Ultimate used from
Throwing net.
side of Ryukigai, but doesn't
Spike
find anything.
planted.
Spike does go down. Argini floats his paranoia a little bit, decides against it. Eye goes out, does not spot Ryukigai. However, Viper tucked in this angle, caught out by Ryukigai, doing damage before Argini puts him in the dirt. 3 versus 2, door now going to be popped. Paranoia used. Tyler Soria here's a zero backing off the line.
Last player standing.
Finds the kill. Tree opened up. Argini, Wonder Kid versus the world now. Around the angle, Graves with the Odin. 10 rounds for Wukong, and Shadow of 9 yet again have no answers. Flashes of brilliance, but nothing yet to be actually put together here. Shadow of 9 had an incredible defense half, but on their attack, it seems they just have no answers. They're getting so much free space as well. They took Rubble for free. They're taking Mound essentially for free. Being allowed to walk up B main. The only resistance that they're really facing is the actual Sentinel utility and the choke points of B and C. And I say that very lightly because the only Sentinel utility really being used on B is just a singular trip and then someone jiggling from heaven, maybe on a good day. C has so much stall. That's the big round for them, or that's the big sight for in terms of like actual stall utility. But you know, Shadow of 9 are being able to break past that Sentinel utility. DV Wukong just have such a drilled retake, even with no duelist. Sage Slow Orb goes out immediately from Azumi. It's an interesting read, one that will prove to be correct if Shadow of 9 do not halt. Smoke prevents Viper from overstepping. Might be a blessing. Onodaya found a gap onto C. There is a couple players for Wukong close by. Onodaya smoked off. Believes someone might know. Just an inkling from Wukong. ultimate about to be used. Shadow of 9 have full confidence into this round. Nade goes out. Tripwire yet to be broken. It's a double ultimate actually. But Cupgold on the Odin, the only thing that can counter this Neon ultimate is actually Azumi on the Phantom. Tyler Starya as well. Trip goes unbroken, finds another. Our Genie has no way to deal with this. Around the angle, Tyler Starya pushes his luck a little bit before Viper catches him, but still 4 versus 2. Shadow of 9 have no guns. Paranoia comes through as well as the Eye. 1 HP for Onodaya. Cupgold puts him in the dirt. Ryukigai has Viper's number. 11 rounds for Wukong. That's double ultimates used. Onodaya popped the Visal before they even had an inkling of an idea of what was going on C. There were 3 people there. It didn't even catch Tyler Starya. He was just allowed to be left unchecked. His wires were doing so much work on that site. Went unbroken, even though Viper threw the raise nade. It didn't really catch any, do any damage or break any utility. Tyler Starya found 2. And keep in mind, these are the nerfed version of the Cypher wires. It's 20 and 14. It's doing absolute work. Cupgold this time around wants to actually capitalize on the space, finds the first. Azumi to the rescue before Viper manages to get a quick double. Azumi and Cupgold fall to the nade. Ryukigai though around the angle might just go big. Finds 1 before our Genie. Wonder Kid, 6th sense. Tyler Starya, however, a game of timing so far and takes it very well. Our Genie planting, falls off. Proof in heaven leaves Argini isolated. Tyler Starya hears the teleport, sees the spike go down, has no inkling of idea. Proof actually in heaven right now. Argini 1 HP. Tyler Starya clearing these angles, finds Proof. First one to go down. Argini, last one left alive. Tyler Starya has no idea, but Graves has an inkling, 6th sense as well, before he puts Argini in the grave, and it is Tyler Starya on the defuse. This guy's been absolutely incredible this half.
Team Ace.
But Wukong in general just looks so much better. What happened between last half and this half to cause Wukong to want it more than they did? Shadow of 9. You're gonna have to be better than this if you want any contention of making it to the grand finals of the Night Sky Arena. You're touted as one of the best teams this tournament, but you can't even stop a comeback from Wukong. Although it is to be expected that Wukong would be incredible, they're keeping their form from last season's win, even adding onto it, in my opinion, looking even better than they did after that win. Shaky during the group stage, but as I've said before, I'll say it again, looking back to their old selves. This time around, no resistance will be faced, but still, enough conditioning from Cupgold pushing out with the Odin that Viper puts him in the dirt. No conditioning at all. Scratch everything I said. Breakable, instantly broken. Graves up in heaven. Knows where Proof is though, has his number. Finds the first Paranoia instantly used. Vines broken. Ryukigai around the angle wants to find something, anything, but Onodaya is quick to react. Graves still playing in heaven. Operator from Azumi finds Onodaya. Main space taken, but Argini on the trade. Graves still in heaven. Spotted out. Nade goes out. Azumi picks up a rifle for this retake. Flashback goes out. Graves feeling the pressure. Slow orb goes out. Azuro peeks into Azumi. Gives him a freebie. Barrier goes out, however. Graves gives him a freebie. Paranoia goes out. Azumi last one left alive. 89 health points left. Break out the wall. Viper caught out. Argini last one left alive. Tap of the spike through the smoke. It's Argini. Incredible so far. A 9th round for Shadow of 9. 3 rounds separate these two teams if they want any chance of clawing their way back in. Yet again, Cupgold has this Fade ultimate, one off Ryukigai's Deadlock ultimate. It's a game of ults now. Azuro has his Fade ultimate. Some big ultimates on this round. It might actually just come down to who uses the Fade ultimate better. Could be used for the site hit. On to C for Shadow of 9, but instead, back over towards A. They have a read. It's a weak site for sure. The Deadlock still full setup. Sound sensors unable to be broken as of this moment. Judge for Viper. Cupgold, Odin spam, puts Viper on 1 HP. Looking at him straight through the wall, but for a minute there, I was a little bit suspicious. You know, just good old Cupgold. Puts a freeze on the round. Graves holding breakable. Doesn't want to let Shadow of 9 get anything for free. Cupgold. Door will be opened, but Graves patches it up with a band-aid. Smoke goes down. Roof wants to peek out. Cup Gold might just get caught out here. Graves finds Onodaya on the lurk. Removes an option. Ardini does catch Cup Gold, but Ryuka guy has the barrier. Spike still over towards B. Graves on the jiggle. Azuro wants to do damage, but Azumi catches a quick double. Gets the revive. All of a sudden, 5 versus 2. Roof slides out, but Tyler Staria is good for it. Azuro finds the first, almost finds the second, but it's Tyler Staria.
Defenders win.
13-9 Wukong. Leave nothing to doubt. No chances taken. Shadow of 9 already down a map. Lotus continues to look incredible for the side of Wukong. Can one of you guys set like a 5-minute timer, Loki? And that was map 1 of Deviate Wukong versus Shadow of 9. Everyone, map 1 Lotus. We will see you guys back after a quick break to continue this saga. Please hang tight. want it that way. Tell me why.
Why?
Ain't nothing but a heartache. Ain't nothing but a big mistake.
Tell me what. You guys are fucking nerds.
We're on broadcast, by the way, guys.
Oh shit.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Night Sky Arena, map 2 of DV8 Wukong versus Shadow of 9, coming in hot. It's sunset, and we're already seeing an interesting composition being hovered from the side of Shadow of 9. Onadaya hovering the Deadlock. Going to be an interesting choice. Everything else looking pretty. And Viper with the Gecko. Surely not. Surely this is not the composition that you have cooked up. First time we've seen sunset this entire tournament, by the way. Just want to make that known. Going to be a pretty exciting match. Something very, very standard from the side of Deviate Wukong, playing it safe like they usually do. I would imagine that Tyler Staria probably has a Sage ready to be taken, or perhaps a Chamber or something of the like. Any Sentinel really would do at this point, besides the Deadlock. The Deadlock is the only Sentinel that I don't think would be good here, personally. I think that it's just, I think that's a really bad pick. I don't think that it adds any value. I think that you're better off playing a Sage. I think that Sage has better stall. I think that Sage literally gives more information than Deadlock. Just because you can walk over the Deadlock sound sensors, but you can't just walk past the Sage barrier. But for some reason, Wukong have also locked it, so screw me, I guess. Cool. Lock whatever you want. Deadlock it is. Less value than the Sage. Not able to play as aggressively, but I guess it's me. I guess that I'm the issue. I guess that I've just had a bad read. It's okay though. I'm not that smart to begin with. Hey, you guys, Alt F4, by the way. In case you guys didn't, Alt F4. Yeah, just making sure. Already, Wukong with a very specific read, pinging out A. Want to put this wall down, maybe some early conditioning to be found. Spike over towards middle, starting it off strong with a mid-fight. Lots of utility for the side of Shadow of 9, with this composition especially.
There.
Mollies, stuns. The walk down for proof. Darts exchanged off bat. Market door closed. Both of these teams ceding the space Azumi does catch Onodaya walking out on the A site. However, that's already an early pick to be found.
Cover going out.
Argini catches Tyler Staria. The two-man walk down. Azumi is in trouble. Proof catches the lurk. Leaves Wukong in a very, very dangerous position. Cup Gold has the read. Stun goes out. Forced to fall off the line. Flash goes out onto himself, however. Viper. No space to be gained off of that one. A double hold. Graves and Cup Gold. Last ones left alive. A site is empty. Shadow of 9 start to consider it. Walking back towards spawn. Paranoia goes out. Just to clear space that they already have. Even blinds his own teammate. Shaky from both of these teams so far. Not a huge issue, however. Holding this space. Viper catches the first on the Cup Gold. Last one left alive. It's just Graves versus the world. The IGL of Wukong with a classic proof. Gives him a first. Argini gives him a second. Reload comes through a 0. 1 HP. Graves looking to work miracles. Has the ghost and it's Graves!
You could escape my nightmare.
The MVP showing his true colors now. Already going nuclear to find the pistol round. If it isn't him, then who is it? That certainly woke me up today, ladies and gentlemen. Onodaya forcing up a Bucky. This time, probably shouldn't walk out and die to Azumi on the A site. Just want to play a little bit more passive. Barrier not going to be brought, just a single stun sensor. Viper, jiggle peek into mid. Dark goes out, scans nothing. Does nothing to account for the top mid players. Drone, however, just to clear the space, a little bit extra. Double checking. OCD tendencies. Zero around the angle. First pick onto Tyler Staria. Argini is 1 HP, but Viper catches Cup Gold with the Ares. First time I've seen him miss. Onodaya forced to fall off. Azumi puts him in the dirt. That's what I was looking for. Proof in stairs now. Here's Azumi, swap of the gun.
Toxins going up.
Pause placed on this round. Wukong in a bad position.
Down.
Wall goes down. Start to float back towards mid, but no long range guns to be found so far. Graves
Gun here.
has all of B main, pings out a Spectre, extra weapon to be picked up. 4 versus 3, but guns are in the advantage of Wukong.
Shadows
30 seconds
traveling.
left.
Smoke goes out. Argini has the read, but team still scattered all over the place. Noise will be heard now. Ryuka guy
Shadows traveling.
forcing his way onto the side. Argini 1 HP in the smoke. Best he could do is get one or get out, and seems to not be able to get one somehow.
Spike planted.
Does make it out alive, so I guess the latter gets out. Flash goes out. Reverse Omen Paranoia as well as Azumi has to use the molly just to hold for his teammate.
No more.
Graves finds the pick on the proof. Azumi saves Argini's life. Finds a third. Viper. Shots are good. Flash goes out. 1 HP. Rika guy around the angle. Baits in for Graves. Make it out with 2 alive. Wukong. Best you could have hoped for in a situation like this where you're having your mid player on the Ares die to the classic player. It's interesting. That's not a long range gun, but neither is the Ares. Although I do usually assume that the Ares would win that fight. So just screw everything that I know, I guess. I don't know anything about comps. I had the misread on the Sage versus Deadlock. I assume that the Ares would win that long range fight. You know, I'm just wrong. Get someone else in the cast. 5-man for Wukong on this round. Graves does not have the money to even buy shield again. Surely he could drop that over to one of his teammates that does have shield. Barrier going to be broken now, and B site completely empty. Utility heavy hit. Stun broken. Onodaya playing in Boba. Wukong might want to push the pace a little bit, but choose not to. Just hold the space that they have to begin with. Azumi, once this round ult goes out, Argini plummets himself into the cloud. Ryuka guy has a pocket to play through, not going to be caught out. Instead, is allowed to play. And he might just play indeed. Finds 2, stuns, finds, no, does not find another. Azuro puts him in the dirt. Viper, ultimate goes out, found out, finds Graves sleeping at the wheel. Tyler Staria holding this Phoenix ult,
Enemy remaining.
but Argini sticking the bomb, 1 HP. Spam goes out, has the read now. Argini 1 HP, bomb goes out. Cup Gold with the ghost brings DV8 out with a win. It's hard fought and hard won from Wukong as they find a third round. Didn't even really have a full investment, but Azumi, balls of steel, gets that Viper ultimate out. These rounds have been so incredibly close, and I might even just have to come out and say it. I think that Shadow9 have looked way better on this map than Wukong so far. But I think that Wukong somehow are coming out alive. Graves with the early 4K 1v4 clutch in the first round to bring them that pistol round, and then every round since has just been up to absolute antics. Early dart goes out, Cup Gold refuses to shoot it, instead lets it get off a pulse. Proof around the angle with the judge, finds one. Tyler Staria and Graves, however, evening the scoreboard a little bit. Azuro walk out into mid, clearing all the space he can. Argini smokes himself off just to bait himself in, but Wukong still call their teammates back over to the A side. Azuro clearing out so much space though, might just find out sooner or later if Wukong do not push the pace. It's Onodaya alone on site yet again. Trips go out. Confidence a little bit broken from that first round where he walked out and got caught out by Azumi immediately, and he's yet to really get rolling so far. He's 0-3 on the round. Might want to go big here, however, might not be 0-3 forever. Tyler Staria trips the first sound sensor. Stall from Onodaya goes out. However, the hit comes through, and Onodaya has a sheriff stand out on site. Graves finds one, Ryuki guy with the second. Azuro, last one left alive, finds the first one to Ryuki guy, but Graves with another 3K. This guy is going big. 4 rounds for Wukong, and none for Shadow9. Pretty sure my younger brother's in the chat right now. Shout out to him. Make sure to put your dishes away. I'm thirsty. Shadow9 yet to really build any momentum, and even this round, their supposed buy round, ends up with a Bulldog buy for 1. Viper wall goes out. Viper has a flash ready, but delayed still as Ryuki guy finds a kill. And oh my god, Viper, the whiff, manages to find one. Deadlock ultimate goes out. And Tyler Staria does not find, no, does find someone. Catches Argini at the last possible moment. Azumi makes sure the trade will not come through. 1 HP around the angle. Azuro finds the first, finds the second. Tyler Staria, ultimate comes through. Deadlock. Cup Gold pings him out through the wall. Shock dart fracks for damage. Azuro makes it out alive, but the Bulldog against the world. Cover fire from the Odin. Azumi made his way all the way back onto the B side, and Azuro, by the time he's realized it's too goddamn late, picks up a Phantom, 1 HP. Spike goes down, pressures on Azuro. He's been good, but this would be a superstar level round if it were to be a win for Azuro. Clearing his angles ever so carefully. Has no time though. Knife out around the market angle, just going to trust his gut, and his gut is correct. They're all in main. Has utility, full utility in fact. Holding this angle though, Cup Gold with the Odin might just be able to do something about this. Dart about to go out. Azuro around the angle, finds the first 3K so far. Viper Orb goes down if he wasn't already 1 HP, sure is now. Molly as well, a little bit of extra spam, top of the spike, and Azumi. Spam is good for it. Looks scary for a moment, but Azuro. Health came back to bite him. Wukong yet again up 5 rounds, winning the anti-buy. Or winning the buy v-buy. Azuro showing his true colors this round, however, did some really, really good things. Just wasn't able to close it out. Azumi just played that really, really well, to be honest. Stall went out. It's a shame that the Molly didn't kill Azuro. I thought the Molly surely would. This time, even though they lost the prior 5 rounds, Proof has enough money to buy an operator, and buy an operator he will. It's a broken buy at best for Shadow9. Wall goes out. Wukong neglect to break it so far. Might be a very smart move from them. Spike over towards mid. Wall now going to be broken. Azuro in market. Wants to clear out some of this pressure. Alleviate the Deadlock player on site. Smoke on the top mid. And Argini has no way to deal with this. Odin, the antsy door in this point in the round. Drone comes through, clears all this mid space. Wukong already grouped up over towards A. Wall goes out, extra pressure blocking off this choke point. Proof, good for it though.
Spike down
Catches Cup
A.
Gold, still on the angle. Stall goes out, stunned up.
Enemy down.
Azuro catches Tyler Saria trying to make a play. Now Wukong being corralled into mid. Graves. Look at the wrist. Quick catch out.
30
Orb
seconds
goes out.
left.
Vision block into top mid. Argini has no way to deal with it. Onodaya left alone on site. Sun goes out. Catches the first. Graves. No trade to come through.
Going out.
1v1 on the site. Paranoia.
In sight.
Onodaya though, not going to be caught out, but Graves still just too fast. Azumi found his way into top mid, but he's going unchecked. Off whiffs, but Viper saves the day. Graves, quick teleport, quick thinking. Genius level plays, but would have to be quick, and I believe it's so close, but he has it. Time goes out. Proof on the slide. First round for Shadow of 9. Wukong being corralled and led on a wild goose chase around site, or on the map, I mean. Operator retrieved. Viper one closer to this Phoenix ult, now just one off. Argini is doing really well so far to make sure that pressure in top mid can't exactly work toward Wukong's overall game plan. A little bit of toxicity out. You can see exactly how Shadow of 9 feel about this matchup. One round found, however, not exactly the time to be spamming the spike, and that would probably be something that you want to do if you're actually having a dominant game, which they are not having so far. They did start out with a dominant game on Lotus, and they were not being toxic then. In fact, they were playing it very reserved, very quiet, it seemed, in terms of the trash talking and all that. And so we saw how that went. Wukong managed to come back and win 13-9. Early close onto the market door, but Cup Gold has just the solution for that. Onodaya wall goes out. Instantly broken. Onodaya forced to stay in market just to alleviate some of this pressure he is facing. DV8 call to freeze. Proof still holding this line. They're going to have to do something to get him off of this line if they want to find anything into this round. Tyler Staria peeks out, but Proof looking away. Whiff of the shot as well leaves Onodaya alone on site to defend against an army. If there's anyone who could do it, it might just be him, but not this time around. Cup Gold with the Odin capitalizes off of Graves' blind. Ryuki guy works his way into backside immediately. Barrier wall goes out. Retake going to have to be forced through this narrow market choke point. The walkout will be allowed though. Viper makes himself known. Drone scanned up. Ryuki guy and Graves not budging, but Viper gives them a reason to start worrying. Sun goes out. Scanned up. Ryuki guy catches just a pixel. Pixels enough. Delastaria, another Graves as well. Last one left alive. Viper finds one but cannot find their own. 6-1. Deviate Wukong continuing to be absolutely dominant.
Get ready.
Into this
I go
half.
fast.
And you can tell how much they want it. Their passion for this game has not run dry even though they won the Invitational. Looks like they want to go for the repeat. If things continue like this, Wukong might just be booking themselves a one-way ticket to the grand finals. Shadow of 9 have been absolutely incredible, but team that goes down to the lowers will have to contend against Daybreak, who have all the momentum in the world, have won 2 rematches so far, in fact. Shadow of 9 might just be the third, but too early to speak. Still a chance back into this half. We saw what Wukong did on Lotus. Drone goes out, Azuro, shock, extra damage. Smoke though, allows Cup Gold to dodge. Market door being broken instantly, no answers so far. Zumi calls his team back. Proof just jiggling this line.
Toxins going up.
Dart clears all of B main, allows Zoro to get this rotation off, but still just 2 over towards A. Quick backup from Margini.
There.
Smoke goes out, Proof calls it out. Ryuka got around the angle, Proof pop of the ult. Sova ultimate goes out as well. Absolute chaos. Proof catches Ryuki guy still alive, playing to his strengths. Cup Gold finds Argini. Proof still going. Caught out by Azumi. 3 versus 3, somehow, some way. Tyler Staria finds a Zoro.
Toxins going up.
2v3 now. Reset for Wukong.
One enemy remaining.
Smithia. Ultimate
Tyler
ready.
Staria lurks his way up, catches Onodaya. Viper, last one left alive now. On the site, Spike is down, but Wukong slowly applying the pressure, choking him out. Restrictive as all hell, but Viper still finds the first. Does have to go big here, finds a second. Graves avoids a disaster. Spike goes down as well, extra money. Wukong showing Shadow of 9 how to play a dominant round. Is it a tech pause or something? Can one of you guys DM me what's going on? Because it feels like a tech pause, but maybe I'm like crazy. I can't tell though, because it doesn't actually tell me. Okay, it is tech pause. Tell me what's going on. Okay, here, I unmuted you. Can you go check in with them and see what's going on? And also like remind them.
Yeah, Dark, you go. I can't.
Yeah, are you swapped off of me now?
Yeah, I am.
I'll go check. Was it a tech for SO?
Yes.
Bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. Another tech pause coming out here. Might have something to do with that ultimate pop from Proof that seemed super delayed. I just have to see what the ruling is here now.
PC crashed.
Mid game,
Okay.
like mid round.
Azuro's, yeah. But not mid. I think it was when he died. Like after he died, he crashed.
Okay, so we don't need a round rollback.
Yeah.
Nah, it doesn't seem like it.
Okay.
Because they said tech pause like after. Like it was a 1v3 or some shit.
All right. What are your thoughts so far on this game, Dirk?
Graves is just too gutted.
Graves is good. He's back to his MVP form is something that I'm noticing. Like, he's playing exactly like he did whenever he was, like, frying them during the grand finals of the Night Sky Arena. Like, he was... I don't know if you guys remember, if you guys were watching at all, but he was just doing God's work, genuinely, on the Vise, on Pearl. He was just, like, raid bossing around the map and just winning every fight, and that kind of seems it's a little bit different, obviously, because he's not exactly running around the map, but he's fighting in pairs and just winning out every trade. Like, he seems untradeable, and he's literally untradeable. Actually, he's 13-3, like only 3 deaths compared to the rest of his team, and a lot of these are like impact, like it maybe I'm crazy, but these are impact kills from the side of Graves. Like, really and truly, these are impact kills. He's not baiting his team, he's calling a great game, and he's finding so much impact. For anyone just joining, we are in the middle of a tech pause. Will be resolved soon. We had a PC crash, but no round rollback will be needed, so we'll be out of this very, very quickly. Argini more like Charlie Kirky. What are you talking about, Manny? Get out of my chat. Get out. Leave. You're banned forever. That's crazy. Argini more like Charlie Kirky. Why? What does this mean?
I'll unpause.
We're live.
Unmute us.
Alright. Straight back into it now. Tech pause over and done. Early dart goes out. Proof still walks down, finds 2 quick kills. It's snappy for sure. Cup Gold unable to find the trade. Market door being broken, but Cup Gold not in position to break. Turns his head around. Tyler Staria walks out, finds a Zero, puts it into a 3 versus 4.
My territory, my rules.
Deadlock ultimate goes out. Passes Azumi, but Cup Gold
Last player
March will
standing.
not be stopped.
Spike down A.
Spike goes down. Tyler Staria, unbeknownst to Shadow of 9, has worked his way into their spawn, but it would have to be one for the ages. It would have to be a 1 versus 4. We've seen Graves do it before. Can Tyler Staria replicate that same level of impact? Playing it
Sensor
slow.
down.
Sensor goes down. Shadow of 9 beginning to piece together what's going on as they look around mid, look around spawn, don't find anything.
30 seconds
This should be a
left.
done round for Shadow of 9. Viper still playing on the B side, keeping information and making sure that the gaps aren't so wide and spread out. Telestoria finds his way into elbow. However, Argini is somewhat looking his way with the Odin. Should be done right here as Tyler
10
Storia peeks
seconds left.
into Argini and falls. And actually the whiff goes through. I was a little bit scared, but Shadow of 9, pretty dominant round. Although we will not be having any information for Azuro now, unfortunately. His information will show, but not like, I mean, his player shows, but it won't show any information because he crashed and then came back. So I know that sucks, but it is what it is. Everyone else still has full information.
I will not die today.
Viper inserts himself into B main. Trade goes through. Proof does
Spike
more than
down
bait.
B.
Even finds a kill. Proof doing God's work before Tyler Staria puts them in the dirt. Still an early 2 versus 3 and Azuro still alive finds 2. Shadow of 9. 2 back-to-back dominant rounds. Wukong beginning to falter just a little bit. That tech pause surely did wonders for their mental. I have a Diet Dr. Pepper here. I'm gonna give it a try. It's a little bit flat, but still, it's good. Even though it isn't exactly ice cold and fizzy still, I still enjoy the taste of a sweet, sweet, succulent Diet Dr. Pepper. I like the way that it feels whenever I open up the cap and place it on the table and I can hear the clack of the plastic as I set it down. Viper inserts himself again into B main. This time, Wukong much more careful, won't even matter. Proof finds an opener. Cup Gold, however, doing damage as well as Graves. Azuro does look to clean it up.
Spike down B.
Graves manages to sit the Odin down, and the other players of Shadow 9 are pretty spread out. Graves seems to have a read, although incorrect. Clearing these angles ever so methodically. Same situation as last round, a little bit more doable, but still unbelievable that I would even have any belief that he could win this, yet if anyone can do it, it has to be Graves. Works his way into spawn. How long before someone considers it? Sound sensor still up. Knife out. Graves walks straight into Onadaya. A mishap prevents him from finding anything. 4 rounds for Shadow of 9. Building the way back
Last
up,
round before
might
the
just be able to salvage something out of this disastrous half. Could either end 4-8 or 5-7. 5-7 obviously would be better for Shadow of 9. Either way, Wukong have earned themselves the lead. Wukong, this time, heavy over towards A. Want to put the pressure on Onadaya, playing solo. However, they failed to realize Shadow of 9, reactive as all hell, pushed down in the mid. Scanned out by the drone, Graves, just too ready for it. Proof goes unchecked. They do have an idea of what's going on. Azuro, primed up and ready with this drone, wants to re-clear this B main space. Wukong still grouped up over towards A, putting a freeze on this round. Pings go out. Seem to even understand where Onodai is playing. Pathing being pinged out. Graves finds Onodai. Viper Wall goes up. Wonder Kid against the world. Ryuki guy on the angle. Dinks him. Instantly put in the grave. Ultimate goes out. Argini caught up. Damage done. Even Azuro going to be noted on this flank. Argini walking into the smoke. Manages to find Zumi, but not before he goes down to 1 HP. Deadlock Ultimate goes through, finds Azuro, and finds the round. 8 round for Wukong and a 4 round lead earned today. Well fought and hard earned for sure. We're seeing something pretty incredible today. And Wukong are actually only 5 rounds away from taking the series and earning themselves a spot in the grand finals yet again. Is it another tech? I'm just gonna assume that the guy staring at a wall has crashed. Dart, can you go check on what's going on? Remind them not to talk about strategy, and then like just DM me. Oh, halftime? Wait, I'm actually stupid. Holy crap! I was so caught up in the flow of the game that I forgot that it's like round switch. Holy. Feel free to flame me, guys. Feel free to flame me. Love you guys. Let's see. Win conditions for Deviate Wukong, 100% just going to be fighting one side, retaking the other. Have a Viper Wall that could be very, very potent for some of these fast flood retakes, even being able to enable Wukong players to just walk out into B main. Like, this wall cuts off really essential space in B main. Everything else, however, is just very conditional. Or, yeah, very conditional. You don't want to put this wall up instantly and block yourself off from taking space. That is what they have done, however. Graves in middle, 1 HP, jumping around in this net for some reason. I don't really understand what's going on right now. This is hilarious. And he's going to, oh my god, yo, someone clipped that. That's crazy. I wonder if he knows that he can just shift walk away. I think the jumping actually made it worse for him. Oh my god, I'm crying. I can't focus on the game after that. I can't focus on the game after that, dude. Yo. Oh my god. Okay, I'm good. Shadow of 9 regrouping back over towards A to 4-man silent contact walk up. Cup Gold alone on site. Has Tyler Saria back.
30 seconds left.
Might be able to help him a little bit. Ryuki guy does not spot Onodaya out. Still an inkling of what's going on. Viper and Proof opening the site up, cracking it like an egg. Plant goes out for our genie. Azumi making so much noise as he walks into spawn. Ryuki guy in the middle,
Last player standing.
caught out by Viper, leaving Azumi in a 1 versus 5. Smoke fades, left alone in a corner. Viper forces Azumi to move straight into Proof's crosshair. An early pistol round for Shadow of 9, and much needed at that. Little bit of an investment from Deviate Wukong. And by a little bit of an investment, I mean literally just 600 credits onto Cup Gold for this Bandit. Could do some work with it. Another 600 actually from Ryuka guy, but that'll be about all. And even he chooses to sell it. Good luck net goes out. This time Graves does not get caught by it. Plays it smart. Baits Ryuka guy in. Dink on the Viper. Unlucky to not get that kill. Heals instantly. Cup Gold walks out. Damage done. Shock as well. Extra stall. Shadow of 9 called back over to B. Wall does wait them, but easily broken if you put manpower into it. Azumi walking out into this angle, chooses not to, instead plays it smart. Onodaya about to walk straight into Azumi. Puts him in the grave. Smoke goes out as well. Extra stall. Proof does find an opener. Paranoia goes out. Tyler Staria barely surviving on site. Is put in the grave by Proof. And Viper finds a second. Cup Gold, last one left alive. Just playing it damage-wise now. That's all you can really do. 7 assists on the board, but only 6 kills. Hasn't been so spectacular as we've seen him in the past. Instead of taking the engagement, fakes the walk. Shadow of 9, not one to fall for it though. Flash goes out, Cup Gold, peeks straight into it. A 6th round for Shadow of 9, much expected. This time around, buy comes out for Deviate Wukong, but it's essentially a buy BV. As Shadow of 9 have invested pretty heavily into it, even buying an extra rifle onto Onodaya. So Wukong, if they don't win this round, economy will be pretty shattered. And Shadow of 9, likewise, for the players that they invested heavily into, are going to have to make sure they do their due diligence to win this round. So 5-man contact over towards A main. Both of these teams doing the same thing. Dart goes out, catches Ryuka guy, forced to walk away. Smoke goes down, but Azumi still playing in the smoke, goes unchecked for now. Graves straight through the smoke, finds Onodaya. Viper, ultimate used. Ryuka guy on site, playing around these angles. Dart goes out as well. Ryuka guy and Graves doing work. Argini does capture another before Cup Gold puts him in the dirt, leaving Viper in a 1 versus 4. Ryuka guy whiff onto the angle, but Graves with another 3K to find Wukong the round. And this time Shadow of 9 might end up regretting their decision to force into this round. Still does look like a buy up for Shadow of 9 somehow. Managed their economy very well. I can't see what Azura's buying, but I'm just going to assume that he has a rifle. Wukong, however, have an even better buy, and they have Graves, who, better than any gun you could ever possibly want. I'd pay $1 million for this guy. 20-8. Second person on his team, second next KD, is 7 kills away from him. It's just doing incredible, to be honest. Market door not going to be broken just yet. All part of the master plan for Shadow of 9. Putting a pause on the round yet again. Ryuka guy inserted into this elbow angle. Not being super proactive, but Onodaya isn't either. Jiggle peek onto mid. Azuro walks back, grabs the spike. At one point, do Wukong start to get proactive over on this empty A side. Barrier goes out, blocks off rotations in mid. Actually doesn't. Misses just a little bit, but still works. Graves, sound made. TP's over the wall. Wants to take an angle. Doesn't find anything, but Graves does start to walk out a little bit. Cup Gold, turn, flick of the wrist, finds one. Onodaya puts him in the grave. Side hit coming through now. Tyler Staria wants to find a timing, decides against it. Spike going to go down now for Azuro. Graves put in the grave by Onodaya. Tyler Staria capitalizes on a timing that was never there. Onodaya with a third. Last 2 left alive. It's Azumi and Ryuka guy versus the world. Onodaya peeks in, finds a 4th. This guy's going crazy. Ryuka guy's stun goes out, slide as well, but Onodaya doesn't even need it! Who else but you to find the 7th round for Shadow of 9? And Wukong are gonna be pretty mad about that one. They've only found 1 defensive round so far. It looks absolutely disastrously so far. Clip it, post it, show it to all your family members. Onodaya is so back. But let's see if he can continue that form into this half. Wukong on a save this round. Same exact net. Goes out. Graves dodges. Market wall goes down. Tyler Staria wants to walk out. Does damage onto Onodaya. Manages to make it out alive. Market door now being broken. Azumi and Ryukigai walking up onto the angle, but Azuro gives them a taste of Cup Gold's own medicine. And Shadow of 9. Hive Mind back over towards A.
Going up.
Fending Azumi off. Wall goes out top mid. Information denial. As well as the barrier. Goes unbroken for now. Cup Gold though still has the angle. Falls off. Argini catches Tyler Staria. B-side. An absolute liability right now. Cup Gold wants to do something against it. Something he will. Finds proof. Dart goes out. Argini caught up by it. Viper opens the sight back up again. Cup Gold in the grave. Viper plant goes out. One more towards the Phoenix ultimate. Graves, an around the world trip for the superstar. Might just result in a couple kills if Azuro looks away. But as of this point in time, Azuro has the read, just holding this flank tripless angle. Graves still manages to find the kill. He's on 1 HP though, so for the round, not in any danger of slipping out of Shadow of 9's grasp. Azumi with the judge. Classic out, finds a gap. Net goes out. Catches Graves yet again. Azumi does manage to knife Argini in all the chaos, but it won't result in a round. Any damage is good. Azumi still doing Azumi antics, even in the face of a possible comeback from Shadow of 9. Timeout yet to be called, but could come any moment now as Wukong just have no answers right now. I do have answers though. I think that Wukong need to be more proactive. They're not being proactive at all right now. They're lacking a lot of just walking out onto angles. There are a lot of points in time where they could have just taken so much space for free if they just had the balls to do it. Just like this round. Actually being proactive. Two members walking down. Cup Gold though. Onodaya on the angle. Falls. First time this guy's picked up a rifle in months and looks clean. Shadow of 9 reaction good. Forces their way onto the A site. Azumi forced to play in the smoke just to avoid the dart. Peeks out. Viper finds one. Graves puts the ult in the dirt. Azumi finds an equalizer onto Argini. Flash goes out. Graves forced back into the smoke, but nothing to follow up on it. Proof still playing in elbow. Has the crossfire with Azuro. Silence for now. Graves egos Azuro's Odin. Stun goes out. Almost catches Proof. Still suffocated. Finds so many kills. Found Proof with the 3K. 1 HP, but a round is a round.
Don't get stabbed. Bad way to go.
Showing us a completely new look after that first map where he was kind of MIA, but it was just a temporary issue for a more long-term problem for Wukong, which is how do you deal with Proof when he just has balls of steel? Now Graves' masterclass performance is beginning to become more of a thorn in Wukong's side. So no one else really has any meaningful impact. Tyler Staria holding so close, caught out by Azuro. Don't know what he was trying to do there. Now the hit becoming obvious. Cup Gold finds two. Proof puts him in the dirt. Azumi so far behind, still shift walking out on A main. No confidence. Proof has all the confidence in the world after that round. Catches Graves. Ryukigai left alone in spawn. Phoenix wall as well. Proof doesn't even need it. Leaves Azumi alone. Just a stinger versus the world. Argini punches a ticket back to A main. Cancels before it can get too extreme. Odin down in A main. Might just be able to catch this Odin and get it back into his grasp. But instead chooses to play it kind of silent. Maybe die to the spike. Maybe get an exit here. An exit there. Instead, TP's his way into Azumi's crossfire,
Dying here would be
and
unfortunate.
Spike being stuck might just manage to.
Shots.
No, doesn't find anything for it. Shadow of 9. Get out alive, except for proof. But Viper makes it out alive. Azumi's master plan ended up finding an extra. This time is the real deal. 10-9. Impact round if I've ever seen one. Both of these teams on the verge of having a shattered economy. Shadow of 9, if they win this round, might just be able to punch their ticket to the grand final. But Wukong might be able to continue their dominant streak into this half even more if they find this round, etc, etc.
No escape.
Deadlock ultimate, or deadlock net comes through, doesn't catch anything, smoke goes down, blocks Graves off, wall goes down, not instantly broken, Shadow of 9 yet again playing it passive. Graves holding his paranoia out for a push that will never come. Top Gold playing it safe and market, has the Odin, has the angle. Tucked in behind this wall, now I see what it's for. Onodaya holding the angle past the barrier wall. Noise not going to be heard by anyone. Tyler Storia and Cup Gold still. In market, wall goes down now. Might allow Shadow of 9 to contact in. Smoke, patchwork like clockwork from Graves. Side hit is still good though. Ultimate comes through. Cup Gold has a dart. Dart used. Scans one, but spamming the wrong angles. Cup Gold still manages to find one. Graves as well, doing God's work. Deadlock ultimate goes through, catches nothing. Cup Gold spits his ultimate out. Azuro on this angle with the Odin again, taste of his own medicine. Retake, beginning to start up. Proof goes unchecked just for now. Viper Molly goes out. At what point do we start to consider? Proof on the angle, catches one. Viper ultimate goes down. Graves with the 3K. Superstar versus Superstar. And it's Graves and Deviate Wukong with the round 10-9. Big important round for Wukong and fairly clean as well. Economy going to be given a chance to build back up. Temporary glimpse of greatness on this defensive half for Wukong, but it came through the means of ballsy plays and early isolated fights, and that's not something that can be easily replicated through luck. You have to force it, and Wukong so far have not been good at forcing fights on their defensive half. They've played super passive. Net goes out, doesn't catch anything yet again, but Proof straight through the smoke. Not even through the smoke, just raw dogging into the angle, essentially. And smoke does go down this time. Cup Gold has the angle in market, but doesn't want to play it too ballsy. We're seeing our first walk down from Tyler Staria here. Might be able to catch Azuro if he goes any farther. You can see Wukong becoming anxious. Cut of noise works so well against a team that does not have so much information. Tyler Staria misses his ultimate, but the information is still going to be gained. However, it's too late. Hit coming through for Shadow of 9. It is for Yukigai with the walk down in the mid. Azumi finds one. Trade comes through. Cup Gold onto Viper. 3 versus 3 all of a sudden. Azumi still on site, teleports away. Dart comes through, catches the one in the corner. Wall goes through as well, isolates the fight. Allows Shadow of 9 to make it out alive. They still want to deal with though. Tyler Staria catches Azumi. Spike goes down. Playing it in spawn. Chooses to fall off. Cup World. Oh, Odin versus Odin and Cup Gold of course comes out on top. And all of a sudden it's a 3 versus 1. Onodaya goes unchecked and spawn. Tyler Staria wants to do something about it. And do something about it he does. Clean shot and a clean round. Exactly what they needed. Yet again, 3 come out alive. Shadow of 9. At what point do you start to fight back? 2 rounds in a row. And 2 rounds in a row is dangerous for a team that's only 2 rounds away from going to the grand finals. Shadow of 9 are putting up their absolute best fight here, but it's dangerous whenever other members of Wukong start to get activated. Graves, 25 and 13, had no help up until a couple rounds ago when Azumi and Cup Gold started to get activated. Tyler Staria as well, 15 and 16, doing so much better than they were just 3 or 4 rounds ago. This time, I want to go back to the old faithful. Wall goes out. Tyler Staria. He goes the angle, catches the duelist player. Net goes out. Tyler Staria catches another 3.
Spike down
Even
A.
catches Proof out. Sees the angle, catches a 4th. Tyler Staria is farming them. Tyler Staria with the 5K of a century. Forget everything I said about Deadlock not being viable.
Match point.
Tyler Staria makes it viable
Their desperation
and keeps the dream alive as Wukong are 1 round away from going to the grand finals. And Shadow of 9 are in a broken bye. No answers to be found as Wukong have their number. Graves has help now, and that's a dangerous thing for Shadow of 9. Energy being found, not even for them, for me especially. I'm on my toes. Ryuki guy now having this operator out, 4 and 17. He's dropped a stinker so far, but wants to do something about it. Whose tech pause is this? SO9. Dart, can you go check on it? Thanks. Tech pause now coming through here will not be too long, so hang tight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back ASAP. I can't hear you, by the way, so you'll have to, like, message me. My keyboard isn't letting me tab. Oh, live back now. Okay, it was just like a 5-second tech pause. Cool. Anyways, smoke goes through instantly for Argini. Dart as well. Super passive as Ryuki guy does take the aggressive angle on B, but it will not find squash. Even using this Phoenix ultimate into an empty site. Proof gets set up with this judge, might just be dangerous. Viper continuing to plow his way. Tyler Staria just too good though. Deadlock ultimate used, finds nothing. Onodaya on the angle, caught out by Cup Gold. Barrier goes through, literally pinching Onodaya into the worst angle possible. Viper catches 1. Onodaya as well doing work. Ryuki guy with the ultimate just to find a 5th kill. And elbow, they're all isolated. Azuro finds Ryuki guy, but Azumi straight through the smoke. They're doing damage, and Onodaya, last one alive. Him and nothing is between DV8 right now. Onodaya tries to make the transfer, but it's Graves yet again continuing to plow his way forward as Wukong keep the dream alive. The winners of the Invitational are back in the grand finals. Wukong showing us something incredible today. 2-0, Shadow of 9 have nothing. No answers to be found. It doesn't even matter if they don't have momentum. It doesn't matter if they have momentum. Wukong make their own momentum.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Maybe they'll keep beating them. If there's an interview, I'm probably gonna leave beforehand.
Yeah, you're good too. You're good to go.
Oh, is it still live?
We're live, yeah.
Oh, whoops.
You're good. I'm just gonna drag Graves, Loki.
All right. See you guys.
Stick around, everyone, for just a little bit longer. We have an interview from one of the big performers coming through now. If I can get him in here. Graves, hello.
Why, hello.
How is it going, Graves? You are back in the grand finals yet again. How are you feeling?
I mean, I'm feeling great.
Feeling great? Yeah. It has to feel great after a performance like that, man. I mean, essentially, you just dropped an absolute masterclass on him. Talk to me about how you were feeling as you were up 6 rounds in a row on that last map.
I mean, so the second we hit that 6-round mark, the first thing that popped in our mind was, guys, they were at this point last map. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just continue playing our own game, because we almost got into that mentality of just let's keep on pushing it. Let's keep on pushing it. But we had to stop ourselves and slow down, because if we got too ahead of ourselves, we could fall into the same trap of they can come back.
Right.
Like, they are a good team.
And honestly, there was even a point in that game for the first 3 to 4 rounds where I honestly thought that Shadow of 9 looked better than you guys, and you guys were just still winning rounds off the back of like crazy hero clutch rounds. But at the end of the day, you guys still looked incredible. Talk to me about what it takes to lead your team back to the grand finals. How does that feel, and what did it take?
I mean, there was a lot of work put into this. I have to thank Zumi, Raikyo, whatever you want to call him, a lot for improving my calling as we're going through this. And I mean, obviously, I have to thank the rest of my team for picking up my slack when it comes to fragging. But then I, can yet again still frag out even while calling this team. But I mean, leading this team, there's less of the IGL part and like mid-rounding. It's more of just keeping their emotions in check in, in the moments, trying to keep everyone calm so that they are playing their best and they don't get too either, emotional or overexcited or down in the dumps because of things happening, because I have so many players at mid-round, it's almost unimportant for me to have the greatest mid-rounding, but I still mid-round as much as I can.
Right, 100%. So talk to me a little bit about Lotus, right? Obviously, you guys had the very early lead on Sunset and managed to keep yourself in the lead the entire time. But on Lotus, you guys were down and you guys were honestly getting absolutely obliterated by Shadow of Nine. So talk to me a little bit about what it was like having to come back from that huge round differential.
I mean, honestly, it's Lotus Attack playing the XLG triple Senti comp. We're not going to win a whole lot of rounds. We are aware of that. I mean, I told the boys, we get 5 rounds, we win the map. We got 5 rounds, we won the map. So, like, being down 0-6, it was tough. We definitely needed a little mental reset. But we eventually found our groove, just continued winning, playing. So, like, I mean, we just kept playing our game. We didn't really think about the fact we were down 0-6 too much. We brought it back to the 5-7 half that we are comfortable winning out defense with. And then we just proved that that comp is just absolutely dominant on defense.
Right, 100%. It looked really, really good. And you guys also just looked really, really good. Usually I don't like to glaze Wukong because I glaze Wukong so much. There's just like, no point. But I got to glaze you. You guys look even better than you did. Your form is even better than it was when you guys made that initial run during the Invitational. I have a question for you about your Sunset comp. Usually we see teams play the Sage on that map, but we actually saw double Deadlock out today. Can you tell me a little bit about why you guys chose the Deadlock over the Sage?
We like Deadlock. That's about it. It's more just for the fun of it. We like it. It's fun. Our Senti player really wanted to play it, so we played it. Nothing more to that. No like good strategic reason. We just wanted to play it, and that's more important.
Right. I love that mentality so much. It's like comfort is king on this team. Speaking of comfort, I have a question for you about your new role on this team in terms of leadership, right? You've mentioned before that being the leader of this team isn't just about your calling, it's more about, or it's also about emotional leadership and vibes and stuff. Is that something that is unfamiliar to you, or is that just business as usual?
No, not really. I mean, it's the same thing as, how I used to IGL. This team's honestly really easy to manage. We have really good synergy between people, and I mean, this team, like controlling the emotions of the team, it's rare that I have to actually step in and like shut them down with what they're like trying to do or something. So it's honestly really easy. I'm just kind of there as like the last line of, hey guys, come on, let's lock in.
Right, 100%. That's lovely to hear. So, tell me a little bit about your plans in terms of preparation for the grand finals. Who do you want to go against? Who do you think that you'll go against? And what will you guys be doing in the meantime?
I mean, honestly, I really want to play against Day, because it's the only team we have played against out of the two, and they seem interesting. I know a few of the players on that as well, so it'd be really fun to play against them. But I have a small feeling that we will be playing Shadow of Nine again, and it will be a close one. That will be crazy. As far as preparation goes, I mean, we'll do the same thing we normally do. Get a few practice reps in, talk it out, maybe do a little bit of research if we know who we're playing. But I mean, we're just going to do the same thing we always do. There's not going to be anything special for prep on this. We're confident in our map pool, so we just keep practicing the same way.
Right. All right. I love to hear it, man. Congrats today. You looked like incredible. I cannot stress that enough. Like your form was so good, and so was Wukong's. It was a pleasure to cast this game. So
thank you.
Good job on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
We love you, Graves.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. That
Freaking
was
hate that guy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was Graves from Deviate Wukong. However, we do have one more to talk to, if he would be willing. So I'll just ask him real quick.
Brennan, ask.
But great showing out from Deviate Wukong. Close map. Close two maps, to be honest. In general, it's just like, I guess, a sign of how incredible both of these teams are, that they were able to bring each other to the absolute limit. We do have one more interview, real quick. Caden, what's up, man?
What? What's up, Waffle King? How are you?
I'm great, man. I just casted an incredible
That's good,
game.
that's
Both of
good.
you guys looked really, really good. It was a pleasure to cast. The back and forth,
Oh, yeah.
especially, was something that I don't get to see a lot of in this type of tournament. But I mean, you look incredible. You're proof, right?
Yes, I'm proof.
I'm making sure.
Yes.
On that last map, you dropped an absolute banger. So talk
Thank
to
you.
me a little bit about the preparation that you had coming into this map against Wukong, and tell me a little bit about what went wrong.
Coming into this map, we like knew that our Sunset is very strong. We are very good together. We knew that we had a sub, so it wasn't gonna be like, we're not gonna be at our full potential, but we still understood that we are very good at this map and that we can take this into our hands if we like start winning some rounds, because we are very momentum based, as I would say. If we win one round, we can win like 5, 6 in one stretch. And we didn't VOD review any of their Sunset games. I'm not sure if they had a Sunset game to VOD review, but we did VOD review some of their games.
You guys are like the
We
second
had
ever
some
game
notes,
to be played on
but-
Sunset.
Yeah. I think our defense, we should have adapted faster. We were very like slow to adapt to what their comp was weak at.
Right.
And I think if we worked on that, then we would have dominated in like 13 of them.
Right. So we saw a double deadlock pick come out today, which was something that I was not expecting, and I was actually very mad about because I'm a huge Sage believer. But you guys really, I mean, both of these teams, you guys really did do really well with the deadlock. To be honest, I loved that you were using the GravNet like right off round rip in mid. There was a really funny moment where Graves was caught up and jumping around. It was awesome. But talk to me a little bit about choosing Deadlock over Sage. What was the thought process behind that?
Originally, our comp was the exact comp that they were running. Like, we had the Viper as well, because it was seen, I believe it was BBL ran this comp, and they like dominated another team. It was like 13-1, 13-0 or something like that. So Madara, like Onodaya, our Sentinel player, really wanted to do it, and he said he's very comfortable on the Deadlock, and he really likes to play Deadlock. That map was, he did have an unlucky map and couldn't frag out for a bit of the first half, but he started locking in, and it is like, I'd say it's kind of a comfort pick for him.
Right. Which isn't something that you see often, especially not from a young duelist player. And that's another thing that I think is cool. Obviously, I'm glazing a little bit, but the fact that you have such a talented player who initially was on the duelist and then was willing to swap and learn an entirely different role and is that open-minded and still performing really well, that's super cool to see. So I have no doubt that you guys are going to make it through the lower finals against Daybreak. But talk to me a little bit about Lotus, right? You guys were super dominant for the first, like literally the first half of Lotus. You guys were up 6-0. What went wrong on Lotus?
If we held tab at all during that game, you would see a Neon player named Proof. He was like perma bottom of the leaderboard. I think that was the biggest reason. But when we won a 6-round stretch on Lotus, the first half, it was 6-0. And then I think we were like, oh, we are just dominating this team. We're so much better than them. We don't have to try as much. So I think some of us were like not trying as hard as we should have been. And we were like slacking off a little bit, going for clips and just having more fun and taking it less seriously than we should have. So then they started winning rounds, and they're also very momentum based. So when they won one round, it turned into 2, turned into 4, and then it ended 7-5 half. That's
super interesting that you mentioned that, because Graves, I just talked to Graves a little bit ago before you, and I asked him about his dominance, his team's dominance early on Sunset, and he specifically mentioned that he was up rounds and then said to his team, "We can't begin to get lazy because that's what Shadow of 9 did." Not the exact wording, but he did mention that he believed that you guys got a little bit lazy. So I did agree with him. I think that you guys had, honestly, and I hope that this doesn't come off as offensive at all, but you guys had no business losing Lotus. I think that it was entirely in y'all's hands, and you guys came out with a really good game plan. I like the proactivity that you guys were showing. There were a lot of B walkouts, and you guys were really taking advantage of the fact that they didn't have too much information. So I think that you guys have a great Lotus on you, and that you guys will again make it through the lower bracket. I have faith.
Thank
So-
you very much.
Final question for you. Your next game is against Daybreak. It will be next week, probably during the weekend. I don't know, but your next game is against Daybreak. Talk to me a little bit about your expectations coming into that match and the preparation that you guys will take.
I think we're definitely gonna scrim our Lotus definitely, and because we had a very strong defense at the start, and we need to understand how to play more together and stop taking solo fights and stuff like that. And we're gonna VOD review Daybreak, anti-shot them, have our coach talk to us about like if we should switch up our comp, if we should like what we should do after we plant bomb and stuff like that. Just everything we could do, like anti-shot hard against them, see who we're playing against, what they run, and just give it our all. I'm pretty sure they also made roster moves recently, so that should help us as well.
Right. 100%. Well, it's lovely to hear that you're still fully focused on that game. I hope that you tell your team that that was an absolute pleasure to cast through and through, no matter who was winning or losing. I was enjoying that so much, and so thank you guys for putting on an incredible performance, and good luck in the lower final.
Of course. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
That was SO9 Proof on the Neon for both maps. Had a little bit of a bad performance the first map. Couldn't really get started, but I had full faith in him, and he did come back during Sunset. Unfortunately, got 2-0'd by Deviate. Wukong just had the momentum in their favor, but I'm sure that Shadow of 9 will come back stronger in the lower final next week against Daybreak. For now, this has been the Night Sky Arena. This is the upper finals qualifying Deviate Wukong to the grand finals, Shadow of 9 in the lower finals, obviously, as I've already mentioned. So thank you to everyone for watching. Have an amazing week.